Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. And sorry for that interference there. So welcome to this. My name is Robin Fritz, and this morning we're going to talk about experiencing awe, enlightenment, and becoming. And see what you think about it and how many times every day you're experiencing awe in the world. So I want to thank you again for joining us. It's morning here in Seattle, Washington. Wherever it is, wherever you are in the world, welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Robin Fritz. I'm an intuitive and spiritual consultant and a certified past life regression specialist based in Seattle, Washington. I'm also very honored to be the host of the Om Times radio show, The Practical Intuitive, Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World. And to be here today, each week, to share this time with you, to all of us enjoying community together, thanks to the Om Times creators. So again, this morning, I want to talk about experiencing awe, how that can lead to enlightenment and just a sense of becoming in the world. And we're going to do Crystal of the Week, and I'll take 2 questions for quick intuitive readings. But let's start with what we usually do, a quick grounding and balancing meditation with the crystal Fallon. Fallon that's his name. He's a citrine Lemurian quartz, a very rare quartz, an ancient power crystal. And you can experience him however your intuition works. So as you tune in with this time with us today, you may see pictures, you may hear him chat with you, you may feel his energy, or simply know that you're connected to him. So as we connect here, imagine releasing the cares of the day and welcoming in the experience of feeling awe and enlightenment and connection. So taking your attention to the top of your head, mind, body, and spirit coming together. And as you breathe down your body from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, just release the cares of the day, settle in your chair, and be prepared to be part of community here today. So breathing down from the top of your head, down your face, your shoulders, your chest, your hips, your knees, and your feet. The top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Just feel that whoosh of energy and how you just lighten up and feeling connected, feeling more balanced in your chair. And now as you breathe up from the bottom of your feet, welcome Fallon's energy into you. Clear out the blocks and just fill you up with healthy, positive energy, moving up from your feet, past your knees, your hips, your chest, your shoulders, your face, and the top of your head, your crown chakra. So there he is. He's got a really nice citrine cast to him today. He's also nice and warm and usually icy cold. So you're welcome to chime in and say hello from wherever you are here today. Hi, Teresa. And I wanted to talk about awe and enlightenment and becoming. And it was interesting because a few weeks ago, I read an article on NBC News online about scientists studying how people experience awe. And I thought, wow, that isn't actually the word I've ever used, but it's perfect. Awe is a perfect way of describing how we can relate to the world and experience the world and how that boosts us up. Catherine from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Hi, everyone. Thanks for chiming in. And I am taking 2 questions today for people who have something they want to chat about. So I appreciated the article and I felt how lucky it is because I'm out every day with my dog and I live in a beach community here in Seattle. So I get to experience the ocean every single day. And I am clearly an ocean person, but the salt air is always invigorating. And as you know, salt is an ancient clearing material. Our ancestors used it to clear the energies of their environment, to clear themselves. So being out and about it around the ocean every day is naturally clearing for me and my family. But the other part of awe and enlightenment is that I so love going out and just noticing the change in the water, noticing the clouds, how the clouds change, or a bright sunny day, and how some days you can see the mountains and others you can't, and the various sea life out there, from bald eagles to seals to crows and gulls. But every day is just a real joy. And I know that a lot of you have had similar experiences to me in your personal lives, meaning you faced grief, you've lost loved ones, you've had illnesses. I've been through all of that in my life. And I remember some years ago thinking, and I was in terrible pain for many years and disabled and couldn't get around. And I remember thinking, looking around at the world around me and thinking, oh my gosh, the world's going to go on without me and that'll be just fine. And in a sense, that was a moment of awe for me, because it was like, there is this whole connection and we don't think about it. We're so busy in our lives. We're so busy earning money to pay the bills and taking care of everybody, including ourselves. But we don't get to stop and just go, oh, how do I fit into the world? How does the world fit around me? And what does that mean? And one of the ways that I eventually recovered from my illnesses, and one of the things that boosts me up in periods of grief, is realizing that when we stop and we look at the world around us and we think, wow, how amazing that is, or just to be surprised. Right now here in Seattle, we've had 5 weeks where we never got to our average daily high. So very, very cold, a lot of snow, very unusual for us. And yet the flowers are starting to come up, spring flowers. So pretty soon the dog and I will be going out and I'll be watching him check out the insides of all the tulips as we walk by, just sniffing them and just looking at them. And it reminds me of how amazing the world is around us. And it's also inspiring to realize that there's a place for everything, from a seashell or a rock on the beach, to the gulls, to us, to my cat playing behind me on the floor and creating havoc here. So the question is, what are you going through? Are you suffering from grief? Are you in physical pain? Are you worried about a job? Are you lonely? And a lot of us are. It's hard to make connections in the world. Some of the ways that I went about experiencing awe led to what I call enlightenment, or to becoming. We're always becoming. We're always becoming better versions of ourselves. We're always striving to do that, even when we goof up. And there are moments when we go, oh, I just feel really connected. And so I'd like you to practice this week going out and doing something different that will help you experience awe. And it doesn't mean you have to go live by the beach, but what if you took a walk in your neighborhood? Or if you can't walk, or if it's bad weather or whatever, can you go to a park? Can you go on the internet and just look for beautiful pictures? Flowers, mountains, even laughing at a funny video reminds us that we're connected. But when you experience just the pure joy of loving what you're looking at, like a beautiful flower or a picture of a sunset, all of those things help us to connect more deeply. And as I always say, we're here to grow our souls. We chose human bodies to grow our souls in this particular experience. How can you go out and experience the world around you and then create a better and bigger and brighter version of yourself? And so I do it with my animal family, enjoying their quirks and their personality differences and the things that they're interested in, going for walks in the neighborhood, enjoying a cup of coffee with a friend, seeing pretty pictures. You know, I have a bunch of pictures I take on a regular basis just to experiment with my camera. But being open to the experience. Now, we all have tough experiences, But what if you were open to the experience of just becoming your best self, doing whatever it is to boost yourself up every day so that you realize how important and how valuable you are to the world and how different the world would be without you. And then what can you give back to the world? Is it just a simple smile at somebody in the grocery store? That could make somebody's day, just practice going out and being amazed at what you see, of being amazed at how different a tree can be and the bark and what the life would be like to be a tree. And just experience how wonderful it is to be you and to remember how important you are in the world. So let me flip through here. Patty says she's in Newport Beach, California. Lucky woman. You're overwhelmed. It's hard to unpack. Oh boy, I know that, right? Can you start like one little area at a time? Like, what are the most important things you need right now? Something to cook with. Maybe taking a quick walk and appreciating your new neighborhood will give you a boost of good energy, make you laugh. That's always a good thing. And I know sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, I just have to take a moment and sit with my crystals or just take a deep breath and breathe in and relax, or take a few minutes to have a cup of coffee. All things that we're taught that kind of thing is selfish, taking time for ourselves. But it's actually how you get to be a better version of yourself. And it's also how you give back to the world. When you're fully replenished, then that greatness that is in you goes out into the world. It's pretty awesome. So Patty, I hope that helps. And I keep trying to scroll through here. Some days I'm good at it and some days I can't. Joshua Tree, I have not been there. I got close there one time. Didn't quite make it there. Veronica, relationships, you're looking to create a relationship. That is tough. Relationships are in some ways part of awe. Yesterday was a really great day here in Seattle. The first day we got to our average high in like 5 weeks, and it was bright and sunny. And my dog and I were enjoying seeing people we hadn't seen on the street since last fall. And I thought about relationships then, Veronica, because it's hard. You have to go out and you have to meet people. And then you have to wonder what they're thinking and wonder what they're up to. And what if you went out and met people and just approached it from the standpoint that you are this amazing person and everyone else would be lucky to meet you and you would be lucky to meet them to create these new connections. Love relationships are harder. Those are hard things to hang on to. They take a lot of work. And I think what our culture says is that it should all be easy and that should all be this highly intensely romantic thing. And the reality is it's day-to-day life and it can be hard and we need to work at it. So Veronica, bless yourself first. We all need to do that. Bless ourselves first and then allow ourselves to just be vulnerable in the world, to just approach others as, okay, I'm ready to meet someone and to have some fun. And where it progresses from that to a deeper friendship or even to a love relationship, that's the next step, right? So Patty, we talked about being overwhelmed. I hope that helps you. Sometimes you just have to take a breath. Also getting grounded, salt baths, keeping little bowls of salt around the house. Those are things that will help you get centered again, get grounded and back in your body. Because sometimes when we're overwhelmed, we tend to float out of our bodies. It's just that natural experience. So getting yourself down and firmly centered back in your body will be a big step towards that. And lots of rest. I'm feeling like you're not getting any rest. So Catherine has a question. I dreamed that you were with your grandmother, who has not here anymore. The second day, both times she is wearing white and blue colors, and I can't figure out what it means. Can I help you? and you're laughing, um, uh, and you're worried that so you're asking two questions. One is you're worried that causing you physical problems like asthma and stomach issues. Well, we do know that worry can create stress, and stress can make us ill. So that's one thing. And I know I go through periods like that myself where I get worried about things. And one of those things is to just, at least what I do, just put my head down and keep moving forward. Do take some time off, and get better in terms of resting and eating well and so on, because we do know that stress can create health issues. Um, I don't know about the particular things like asthma, but I do know that if you're worried about your health, there are lots of great holistic doctors out there that can help you and create a mind, body, spirit approach to that based on what they read in different test results. As far as your grandmother appearing in blue and white, there are a lot of people that talk about colors in relationship to what colors mean. And in a moment, I'm going to talk about the color purple instead of a crystal of the week. But the question for you would be, do you feel comforted and even kind of humorous? Does it feel humorous to you to see your grandmother appear to you at all and in those colors? Because sometimes our deceased loved ones have a real sense of humor and they're trying to get our attention, and they're like, okay, what am I going to do now? And maybe she's showing you in those colors, which are soothing and calming, okay? And white is spiritual, and blue is like ocean, the calming of ocean waters. But she may be just there telling you that, yes, she is still around you. She is still aware of you. She is still looking out for you. And maybe she's trying to tell you to get some rest or to get checked out about your health issues. And what I would do if I were you is thank her for showing up in your dreams, because that is one of the most frequent ways our deceased loved ones get through all the clutter of our lives on a daily basis and actually connect with us. So say, hey, grandma, or grandmother, if that's how you refer to her, what are you trying to show me by wearing those colors? Is it something important, or are you just trying to show up and remind me every night that that's what I look for and that's what I see? So if she's showing up in blue and white, maybe she's just trying to put that in your head that when you see those colors, that's her coming. Could be any one of all of those things, including a sense of humor. So before you go to bed tonight, say, hey, is that you? Show up and let me know. I mean, most of the time when clients tell me stories about visits from their deceased loved ones, I go, well, how did that make you feel? And they smile or they laugh or they're a little teary. And the result is they feel so much better. And that's the whole point. Our loved ones are in a different place. They're experiencing the afterlife in a way that most of us don't know about because we're stuck in religious or cultural ideas of what the afterlife looks like. And they're letting you know that they're still checking in now and again. And that's awesome, right? So thank her for doing that, for taking the time to do that, because I know from working with my dad who is in the afterlife that there's an awful lot going on over there, and they have an awful lot to do. And when they take time out to come and visit us, that's a tremendous mark of showing you how much you mean to them and how much you still mean to them and how they're still checking in to see how you're doing. And you may ask her, if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm feeling ill, if I'm worried, is this contributing to my health issues? And she'll probably say yes, and slow down and take time off and just be in the moment with yourself. So we're running close to the end of time today. I hope that helps you, the people who raised questions. And each week I do a crystal of the week and kind of tying it into the theme. But today I decided to do a color of the week related to crystals. And it was all the idea of how we can go about the world and experience awe, and like the article in online said, but experiencing awe is a way of stepping outside of our daily limitations and realizing how connected we are to the world, how much is going on a daily basis, how amazing it is that flowers pop out of the ground in the spring and leaves turn color in the fall, and all of the busy lives of the bird life and the animal life around us. And one of the things that inspires us in us and is enlightenment, is growing our souls, is acquiring a greater understanding of our place in the world and the place of other beings in the world around us. And that is enlightenment. That is becoming our best selves, growing and thinking outside of ourselves and seeing our connections to the larger world. And that's why I chose the color purple today, because purple is all about amazement and also about humility, is recognizing that we're always growing and learning, and we get to make mistakes and we get to learn from our mistakes, and we get to grow and become our best selves with every opportunity that we can say, okay, I made that mistake, I can learn, or hey, I did that right, isn't that great? Purple is a very high vibration color. So there's high soul and high intuitive connections. And it's also used for inspiration and also for reverence and respect, connecting to the planet and to the universe. And you'll see in various religious traditions, purple robes, symbolizing high spirituality, but also recognizing the troubles the body has as it grows, as it's born, and it grows throughout its life and ages. But purple is a crown chakra color, and your crown chakra, when it's wide open, as it often is when people tune in to this broadcast and see Fallon and are connected to Fallon. So you've got the crown chakra wide open. It tends to open you to connection to spiritual guides, your spiritual team members, your deceased loved ones, your own intuition opening up and becoming more aware of how you can use your intuition. So crown chakra colors are refined vibration, and that's purple. So there are purple crystals, and here's amethyst. So there's a purple, and then this is a form of amethyst called auralite, and it has hematite and grounding crystals in it. Kind of hard to find, but I tend to prefer auralite when I work with clients as opposed to amethyst, because when I have a client in distress and we're doing a lot of clearing out of blockages and filling them back up with healthy energy, amethyst is a very sensitive emotional stone and can shatter in those kinds of situations. Auralite has those grounding minerals like hematite in it, which makes it stronger and tougher. But you'll also find purple in fluorite, in lavender amethyst or lavender flowers, amethyst flowers, which are crystals that have various different shapes to them, and they call them flowers. They can be extremely beautiful. Tanzanite and sugilite are also purple crystals. You can Google purple crystals. I have a collection of crystal books that I just like to look at. One of them is a Judy Hall's Encyclopedia of Crystals, and it's divided up into colors, so you can research crystals by colors that way. So I want to thank you for joining me today. It's an opportunity for us to come together each week to share our thoughts, to come together to really understand that community isn't just the people you're face to face with, but people who have like interests wherever they are in the world. And that's what Om Times creates for us here. So if you like these broadcasts, please like the Om Times pages, the Humanity Healing page, my page, the Practical Intuitive, Robin M. Fritz. I appreciate that. Also, if you go to my website, robinfritz.com, you can sign up for my newsletter, and you'll get a video meditation with Fallon. It's pretty cool. And also, you're welcome to contact me at my website or here on Facebook at The Practical Intuitive. I offer personal and business intuition, animal communication, mediumship, space query, past life and between life regression, spiritual awakenings and spiritual journeys, a process I call soul progression clearing, which is clearing out those blocks and filling us up with healthy energy, all to help us continue the work of becoming our best selves. So I hope you go out this week and experience awe, just even in your own household. Just look at a picture that you've had on the wall for a while, or your animals or your kids, and just amazed at how different the world is and how we're all coming together and growing and learning and being part of this amazing planet together. So I want to thank you for joining us as we clear out today. Let's get grounded and balanced back into our body, closing down that crown chakra connected to Fallon, and just letting yourself close out for now and prepare to go out and take more steps on the path of enlightenment by experiencing awe and joy in your life. So you take a deep breath, feel yourself filled with healthy energy, getting grounded and balanced. Thank you for joining me. Let me know how I can help, and we'll see you next week. Take care.